Guys, big breaking news coming out. Trump administration warns of pending airspace closures due to shutdown. Now they're talking about nationwide. Now I wanna read this part really quick here, guys. This is very important. Also, Chuck just shut down the Gov for the 14th time. This is the reason why Donald is putting out this message. It says here the Transportation Secretary Sean warned Tuesday that the ongoing Gov shutdown could result in widespread flight delays and airspace closures across the United States of America. Americans could see mass chaos in the weeks ahead as air traffic controllers and Transportation Security Administration officers continue working without pay on the 35th day of the Gov shutdown, Duffy said during a press conference Tuesday. The administration officials and industry leaders cautioned that the crisis could escalate throughout November, leading to what Duffy called a potential disaster for travelers and the airline industry. Airports across the country have already seen delays and cancellations due to staffing shortages as the shutdown continues. Once again, they are really sounding the alarm. Americans could see mass chaos in the weeks ahead. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Check out the video I posted, guys. Once again, Chuck blocks deal for 14th time. Alright, so it is an emergency, so he did shut it down again for the 14th time, and now you have the Trump administration are sounding the alarm. What are your thoughts on this? Leave comments down below. We are definitely seeing some tough times happening. There's going to be tough times for millions out there. Now the Gov shutdown, now in its 4th week, has forced 13,000 air traffic controllers and 50,000 TSA officers to work unpaid, severely straining staffing at major airports nationwide. Chuck, just stop it, man. Stop, man. You guys just need to stop. The situation poses a threat to the sleeping giant, densely trafficked airspace, raising concerns over the safety, reliability, and efficiency of the U.S. aviation system as the holiday travel season approaches. This is going to be really hard times. This is going to be the hardest holiday season in U.S. history. It's going to be the hardest. Again, families are not going to be traveling to see loved ones for the holidays unless you want to travel by vehicle, but this is getting really tough. It's getting really tough. Please do me a favor. Please pray for the millions out there. It's just mind-blowing that Chuck really shut it down for the 14th time. This is just local. This is crazy stuff. With air traffic control staffing reportedly 3,000 short of the required 14,000, many workers have been forced to take on second jobs to support their families. Now, guys, I do Uber Eats, I do DoorDash, and I met a couple of people that have started doing Uber and DoorDash, and a lot of these people work for the federal gov. Now, they're not working, and the reason why, they need money. They need money to pay for their bills. They need money to pay for their car notes. They need money for Thanksgiving. The shutdown has triggered a chain reaction of disruption at major hubs, striking the onset of mass delays, cascading flight cancellation and operational uncertainty. Wow. So which airports are experiencing flight delays? Well, so far, it says here, as of October 31st, major airports impacted by staffing shortages and delays included Orlando International, Dallas/Fort Worth, and Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, Boston Logan, Newark Liberty, Harry Reid International, and John Wayne also experienced partial or complete closures, as reported by the Federal Aviation Administration. We are dealing with a war within. This is America. We're not supposed to we're not supposed to see stuff like this. And of course, you got the left is gonna point finger at the right, and again, the right pointing finger at the left. This is all of them. They all in it. It's all again. You can't point finger. It's their fault. No, it's their fault. But here's the thing, guys. I believe these two are causing something here, but the one to blame the most is the left because of what they bring to the table, and what the stuff they bring to the table. They want 1.5 trillion so they could give to the illegal and stuff like that. Again, that's why you got all this messed up stuff going on. It says here, American Airlines CEO Mr. Robert reported delays at DCA as directly related to air traffic control staffing issues. Officials warned that with 19,000 flight delayed in a single recent span, holiday travel could be sharply impacted as traffic volumes increase in November. This is sad. This is sad. DCA flights delays. Known delays at Washington Airport. Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport near Washington, D.C. has faced persistent delays and operational disruption attributed to understaffed control towers during the shutdown. Ground stops and prolonged wait times were documented as a direct result of the crisis, according to airline executives and FAA updates, the New York Times reported. So why is the gov shutdown causing flight delays? The federal shutdown has exacerbated long-standing staffing shortages within air traffic control, causing many critical personnel to work extended shifts without pay. Coming into this weekend, and then the week after, I think you're going to see even more disruption in the airspace, Duffy said last week. Prepare for chaos. Big shout out to Chuck. Flights have been delayed for up to 6.5 hours in some areas, with the FAA forced to slow air traffic at numerous major airports due to safety concerns, Reuters reported. In previous shutdown, workers' absence grew as missed paychecks accumulated, compounding the impact on air travel. Unions, including the National Air Traffic Controller Association, have repeatedly urged Congress to resolve the shutdown and ensure both workforce security and passenger safety. So how many Senate votes are needed to reopen the gov? I think it's like 6, right? It's like 6 or 7, something like that. Let's see. To end the current gov shutdown, the Senate legislation requires at least 60 votes to overcome the filibuster and proceed towards passage. All right, so you guys know the Republicans don't have 60. They only have like 53 or something like that. Now the rest has to come from Chuck, which Chuck shut down the gov for the 14th time. Thank you, Chuck. Big shout out to Chuck. Despite repeated attempts, bipartisan agreement remains elusive. Recent, a bill aimed at guaranteeing back pay to workers failed, with all but 3 of the left voting against it, arguing that it will grant U.S. commander additional powers without providing relief to all 750,000 federal workers placed on unpaid leave. Negotiations remain deadlocked over healthcare funding, which the left have insisted must be addressed in any deal to reopen the gov. Again, you could have the healthcare. The problem here, ladies and gentlemen, listen, is that Chuck don't want Donald to kick out the illegals from receiving the free health. You know what? That's the problem. Donald is trying to get rid of them. Chuck is saying, you don't touch my people. Again, the millions that came into the southern region. So what people are saying? Well, it says here Transportation Secretary Sean said on Fox, America's newsroom last week, coming into this weekend and then the week after, I think you are going to see even more disruption in the airspace. The White House press secretary, Carolyn, said at a press conference on October 23rd, we fear there will be significant flight delays, disruptions, and cancellation in major airports across the country this holiday season if the left continued to shut down the gov, which they have today. They will also be shutting down American air travel. Once again, big shout out to Chuck. Shut it down today for the 14th time. The VP, once again, Mr. Vance, told reporters at the White House on October 30th, every single person I talked to a word. They're worried that the delays reach a point where it makes it very, very hard for the American people to fly. National Air Traffic Controllers Association, Mr. Nick Daniels said in a press release on October 28th, the sooner the shutdown ends, the sooner we can all get back to working together to advance these shared goals. In the meantime, controllers will continue to show up to ensure this country's passengers and cargo arrive safely at their destination. So what happens next? Well, as Congress remains gridlocked, wages for thousands of federal workers, including controllers and TSA agents, are suspended with no immediate resolution in sight. Airline operators and unions continue to urge lawmakers to reach a compromise and end the shutdown. Should the standoff persist into the busy holiday season, Duffy and other officials forecast mounting flight disruptions and growing operational risk and potential airspace closures if key staff choose or are forced to leave their post. And that's where we at. The most concerning part is what Duffy said. Give me a second here. The one that's highlighted. Americans could see mass chaos in the weeks ahead, meaning that it's going to be it's going to be one of those dark times holiday. You know, we thought 2020 was like the big depressing year. Yeah, this is like 2020 2.0. It seems like everything's about to go to a lock. And then you have 40 plus million that still need their stuff. They need their assistance. But again, we want to give a big shout out to the man that shut it down for the 14th time. I have to keep reminding it. Chucky pushes shutdown into record books after rejecting the GOP bill a 14th time. The shutdown becomes the longest in U.S. history after Chuck and the left reject the GOP 14th attempt to reopen the gov. Now, people cannot say this is Donald's fault. I just read something to you, and I hope you understand that. But again, this is not has anything to do with the right. They don't have enough votes. They need Chuck. They need the left votes. But again, it seems like they want to just continue causing all this nightmare to the sleeping giant citizens. Give me a second here, guys. Let me just refresh the page really quick. I want to see if there's any updates. check out the videos I posted today. The link will be in the description, in the comments box. All right, so man, look at this here. Well, I'm gonna make another video. The president just put out a message. The president just put out a message. So, yeah, it's about this the gov shutdown. Chuck, why Chuck? All right, so I got a video coming up for this channel. It's gonna be very important. Please do me a favor. Pray for millions out there. It's gonna be dark time holidays. I could feel it. And we're about to see some changes going on in the Big Apple. I mean, we are definitely in the end times where you have, all this stuff happening. This is not supposed to happen to our sleeping giant country. This is not how we're supposed to act as a sleeping giant, again, United States. It feels like it's the divided states. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.